Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're talking about lights. So these are the Braun brand slim bar LED lights from Harbor Freight. I've been using them for a little while. They have their goods and their bads. So these, I currently own 3 of these guys. The third didn't end up too well. I think this was actually either the first or the second. And then I got another one to replace it. And I may have had to warranty one of these at some point. But overall, they've been pretty good, really useful. I really like the kind of like flippy portion of it. Lets you put it into pretty much anywhere you want. So a lot of times I'll have this stuck onto something with the light flipped upward so I can see what I'm doing. I did get some complaints, or I did see some complaints on the Torque Test channel talking about how it's not super bright. I haven't really found that to be a problem. Same with the color temperature. It's a little on the cool side, but it seems to be pretty good for me. I think they might be a little spoiled. Basically, this is probably the nicest light I've used, so I haven't used any of the nicer, fancier like astroneumatic ones. But overall, like for the DIY kind of guy, someone like me, maybe you, I found these to be great. One of the big issues is durability. This one, I think, actually broke through no fault of its own. Memory serves, a hood closed on it, and that's what snapped it. But I have had a few of them break right around here. Basically, the light bar is attached with plastic, and that's broken there. I've had the plastic break, and then I've had it glued back on a few times. It's been kind of rough. They do take a standard 18650 cell, which is nice. You can get a couple of these and kind of upgrade. This is, 2200 milliamp hour, so 2.2 amp hour. Cell, you can get a nicer one for a longer runtime. But I found these guys to be pretty convenient for their use. I do carry 2 of them. The main reason is just that they only really have about an hour's worth of usable light out of them. Sometimes I'll just switch it to low if I'm worried I'm going to run out. But I've always got one of them in use, and then the other one is going to be on the charger. So that's kind of one of my biggest things. That and the light bar itself is a little wobbly. This one actually is missing a screw right here. And I just tried to check. I think this is the only one that tightens up. These 2 might be stripped out. This one's pretty rock solid, and it's been doing pretty good. I think this is the newer one, but I don't remember. I do really like the magnet on the bottom. Compared to some cheaper ones I've got, the magnet is way stronger. Like I can move this cart just with that magnet. So the worst thing you can do is have them kind of just fall and hit you in the head. Torque Test channel had some issues with the buttons. I guess they might have fixed that issue because I haven't had any problem with any of my buttons. Most of mine is just the bar getting loose, especially this one, and the plastic that holds the light breaking. This guy looks like I've dropped it a few times. I've got some chips on the end, but the end light still does work fine, so it's still good for me. This one I just mostly keep around for the spare 18650. That way I can just, it's a convenient way to keep it charged. So I just keep this on the charger, and then I'll just stick it with the others. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts with these guys. Overall, they've got their goods. They've got their good sides. They've got their bad sides. For the price point, they are pretty good. If you break it in 90 days, Harbor Freight warranty is always pretty good. The general rule with a lot of Harbor Freight products is if you use it real hard the first few times, it'll probably last you the rest of the as long as you need it. But if you kill it in the first couple weeks, then return it or exchange it. Kind of the same with all cheap tools. Yeah, so normally I think these go for about 30 bucks. They do have a new icon one that's about 40, but I don't think that one folds. It still folds 180, but I think it can't remember which way. I think it folds out like this so that the light is here, but then I can't get it in this angle with the light up and the magnet there. So I'm thinking about getting one of them, but I really like that bend. I do wish this did fold over a little bit more. That would just keep it better for storage and whatnot. And sometimes I do find myself wanting to bend this a little bit past where it is either this orientation or this orientation. So I'm thinking about one of those new icon ones, but pretty much only if I can get a coupon for it. But speaking of, yeah, these guys normally I think are about 30 bucks. Usually there's some sort of 20% off coupon that makes about 25. And every now and then you'll find a coupon to make it about 20 bucks. And I think that's when I bought both of these, separate times with separate coupons. 20 bucks, like for 30 bucks, this is kind of pushing it. For a little bit more, you can get a much nicer light. But for 20 bucks, these things are real good. And basically, the ones I've had, they've lasted me usually at least 6 months to 6 months to about 2 years per one until they break or I replace them. So that's a pretty good life cycle for kind of cheap Chinese tools. Obviously, I'm not using it as a heavy use item. I'm not using it every day, but if you are a professional mechanic, kind of like your opinion on it. Do you keep one of these? Do you use it? Do you have a fancy one? And is this your backup? Because that's the other use. If you've got a really fancy one and it's dead, or the battery's dead, or you ran it over or something, for 20 bucks, 20, 30 bucks, it's good to be able to have this in a drawer to pull it out when you need it. So other cheap ones, just to talk about, I do have this other Quantum one from Harbor Freight. This guy runs on normal batteries. I picked it up just kind of just on a whim. I had a coupon for it. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it's pretty okay. It's got 2 settings, a high and a low. I haven't had too much use out of it, but like the Big Brother, the magnet's good. It'll actually stick to something and not fall over. That was a bad example. Come here. Actually, there we go. Won't fall over, but it's a little bit bulky to be a pen light, a little bit small to be a good spotlight, but it's a good backup when these are dead. The one thing I really don't recommend, I can't remember what brand this is, but oh, there we go. Defiant. I got this from, I think, Walmart, and it's kind of an impulse buy. It's got a light that flips in all the directions, so I liked that. It does run, I believe, on standard batteries. The flippiness is good, but the light on this is really bad. It has a black light, which is good for leak detection and whatnot, but I don't really use that. I don't really have the dye. and then a flashlight at the bottom. The flashlight's kind of okay. The real thing with this one is it's kind of weird. Is it has a magnet in the face of the flashlight, but it is a very weak magnet. I put this thing on there and it won't even stay. So it'll, like, you can put it down and it'll stay put, but anything other than that, it does nothing. And then it rotates around this axis for some reason. I don't really know why it rotates around this axis for some reason, because you can just rotate the light because it's round. So someone thought that that was a clever idea, but that's what you get out of a really cheap Chinesium one. This was like 10, 15 bucks, kind of an impulse buy. Don't impulse on it, it's terrible. I've used it like 4 times and I hated every second of it. So this just sits on the bench in kind of like the land of shame. So, anywho, that's all I got for now. Hope you like this quick little video. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Harbor Freight, the Braun brand, the Slim Bar Magnetic Folding Rechargeable LED Light, as it says on the back.